God of War, my fair review. Is it worth playing in 2022? Kratos is back, this time on PC. I had amazing time with the game, but it never ever came to my mind that I'm playing a masterpiece or groundbreaking game how most of the media reviews are describing this game. God of War, in my eyes, was a very good game, but light years away from being a masterpiece. So, let's go to sections and rate God of War properly as it deserves. The first section is the story. Haters will call the story bad and Hollywood-like. I hate Hollywood brainwashing cringe movies too, but God of War is for sure far less cringy than Hollywood movies, and that's a reality. The story revolves around Kratos and his son with only one quest in mind: to scatter the ashes of Atreus' dead mother on the highest mountain peak in all of the realms. Nordic mythology is covered to absolute perfection. All gods and their personal stories, from Mimir, from Odin to giants and the world serpent, are included. The game is a huge prelude on the end of times, the so-called Ragnarok. Amazing cutscenes, a lot of conversations, some brilliant and breathtaking moments, a journey you'll never forget. And that's the most important part. It seems like the most of the resources and money went into the actual story presentation here for the game. There are WTF moments, funny moments, sad moments, rage moments, a bit of cringe moments too, and a huge cliffhanger at its end. Everything is covered, 9 out of 10 for the story. Next section is game bugs and optimization. The game works like a garbage. They are patching it up though, but still it works like a garbage. I had to stream on original low settings with lower resolution, but then I tested the game on high settings in maximum resolution outside the stream, and it worked exactly the same on all settings, from low, original, high to ultra. Frames were going up and down on their own when they decide to do it. Unforgiving. There are games that look better and work far better too. There were no crashes, bugs and glitches though, and loading times were extremely fast for a AAA title, so that's good at least. 7 out of 10 for game bugs and optimization. Next section is game time. For 90% completion rate while playing on the hardest difficulty available, it took me around 65 hours to finish the game. For 100% completion, to chase those Odin Ravens and some missing chests and artifacts, I guess around 70 hours would be enough to do it all, but frankly I see no point in wasting my time like that. I see no quests, bosses, secrets and lore in the game. I took my time and played it nice and slow, and it was a blast. There is also a new game plus after you finish the game. Replay value is there, but only after years of not playing it. 10 out of 10, this is a long game, especially for AAA title. Next section is game difficulty. I can only speak about the hardest difficulty. Give me God of War. It was pure pain at the start, a chore till I got those swords, and a walk in a park after Kratos decides to pick those things up. It was a very hard game and I died a lot, mostly from over-leveled enemies and from roaming around. The game offers a lot of difficulty options, so everyone can have fun, and that's the most important thing, I guess. 10 out of 10 for the game difficulty. Next section is maps and graphics. World map is just beautiful, but it's a misleading a bit, to be honest. You will get to visit multiple realms, and they covered all colors here, from dungeons to snowy mountains, from caves to the land of the dead. Amazing atmosphere, a lot of details, the game is immersive, and I can't argue with that. Graphics, I don't want to talk too much here, this is a gorgeous game, end of story, 10 out of 10 for maps and graphics. Next section, and the most important one in every video game, would be gameplay. What is God of War? It used to be a fast-paced hack and slash. Well, this God of War is a slow third-person action RPG. Don't get me wrong, I like it like this, but I can only imagine how pissed off were the fans of real God of War games. God of War is a combination of multiple games into one. A bit of a new Tomb Raider games, a bit of a Dead Space claustrophobic camera, a bit of Dark Souls 1 slow pace, and then top it all off with Shadow of Mordor combat with a God of War spice. Was it fun? Yes, it was. Combat is satisfying, but Kratos is so damn slow, man. He's walking like a snail, and I believe my grandma can sprint faster than him. Now, should I remind you that Kratos is a god of war? That aside, the game revolves around puzzles, exploration, discovery, backtracking, brawls, boss fights, avoiding traps, climbing, cause it's cool I guess, and of course, loot hunting. One thing is sure, you'll never get bored while playing it. There is always something to do and new things to see and discover. 9 out of 10 for gameplay. Next section is leveling and itemization. The better gear you wear, the higher level Kratos is, hence the more damage he deals, and the more damage he is able to withstand. From gear, you can equip vest, armor, waist, and talisman with different perks and stats, like trigger explosions on hit, recover health when low, deal more thrust damage, deal more burn damage, and so on. Kratos can also equip his son Atreus in different armors that will raise his damage or his utility skills. Gear aside, once you level up your axe or swords with proper materials that you'll find along the way, new skills and combos will open up that you can purchase for experience points. Tons of combos and skills to switch and have fun with, in other words. Your axe and swords also have runes for different spells that deal a lot of damage but are on a long cooldown. Sockets are included into gear by the way, and they also play a huge role in itemization. I like this section a lot, there was always something to do and it's balanced well from start to finish, so I'll give it a 10 out of 10. Next section is NPCs and enemies. Amazing NPCs, from our two main protagonists to hilarious Mimir and blacksmiths, to the main evil guy in the game of course. Acting is really good in God of War. Enemies, here we go, the main problem of the game. AI is solid, that's the only good thing in a game. Now what's wrong? Very low variety in enemies and bosses too. This is the weakest part of the game, to be honest. You encounter a regular troll as a boss, then a blue one with ice attack, then a red one with flame attacks, then a green one with poison attacks. You encounter a nightmare, well guess what, the next one is blue, then it's red, then it's yellow. Same applies for every single enemy in the game, including the main optional hardest bosses in the game, which I like the most, 9 Valkyries. Non-stop repetition of enemies and bosses, non-freaking stop, unforgiving and very lazy from developers. They ruined a brilliant game with poor decisions and straight up laziness. 6 out of 10 for NPCs and enemies. Last section is music and sound. God of War has 20 soundtracks in total and only 2 of them are good and memorable. The rest is just cacophony of madness and yelling voices without a pattern. Sound effects are amazing, voice acting is superb. 9 out of 10 for music and sound. Final verdict, we got 9 sections with 80 points and that would be 8.8 out of 10 for God of War in 2022. Potential score, once performance is fixed, could be 9.1 out of 10. God of War is a brilliant game, a really brilliant game, that got ruined with some bad decisions from devs. Slow Kratos, shitty camera angles, enemies variety, bosses repeating, poor performance, too many puzzles. With that aside, World of Midgard and its other realms are just breathtaking, and it's the game I'll remember forever. It was a blast, the game is worth every penny and every second of your time. I hope they will fix most things for the upcoming sequel and that Ragnarok will come out to PC very soon after its console release. I thank you all for watching, and I'll be seeing you on the next one.